And we're off. I had to press a button. What's up, everyone? Ooh, it's shiny. Whoa, we falling. Can it be a flat? It might be. I'm happy I actually went out of my position. 1 second, I gotta close the curtain here. Ah, much better. Sorry, I literally just came back. I had lunch. Wouldn't really like the look of a flat, but starts to look impulsive, no? And we stop the music right there. So, yo, what's up, everyone? Good to have you here. This morning, I made an update talking about the point of control as an important level for a potential retracement if we are looking for continuation to the upside in an ABC or a 1-2. Of course, if we would count a potential flat here in an ABC-ish type of structure, the point of control is also important. Now, by all means, something that I do keep in mind here, and I just want to jump straight in, is something that we saw a while ago already. So I was thinking, like, this move to the upside is, of course, it's first of all many green candles, right? It's very much like almost like a straight line up. And if we go back in time, before I say hi and we do all of that stuff, I want to take you to, I think it was June 2023, where this wick, so I just want to at least make people, this wick over here was also during an event, if I remember correctly. So you had your, like, it looks very three wavy, but you see the wick here. This wick here was a wave 4, right? And then you had range, and then poof, bomb, right? Of course, this was a longer sideways range, but I am aware of the potential. So we'll see. No, we'll see. Let me go back to the chart here. Go back 1 hour time frame. Now, the weekend is coming up as well. And the weekend, most commonly, is a sideways ranging structure. So if anything crazy happens, then let it be today. I mean, we already have some nice volatility, right? But the weekend is coming up, and most commonly the weekend is a sideways ranging structure. So the volatility today, and then a calmness comes back during the weekend. So, this morning, of course, I posted the Bitcoin update. We will cover Bitcoin mainly in this live stream because of the news, because of the action, so we can observe it together. So I probably will not do a lot with the alts, might not have a look at alts at all in this particular live stream. But we'll probably be focusing on Bitcoin, the price action here in the upcoming hour. We will probably have quite a lot of information in the upcoming hour as well. And we'll see, maybe I'm going to stream longer for an hour because today is a bit more flexibility in my agenda. And the reason for that was that last night I was analyzing Bitcoin till 1 a.m. So I was analyzing this move to the downside here. As it happened, this was... I don't know. We were looking for price to take this low. I mean, that was the title of the video yesterday. You know, the low is not safe, still taking the low. And then when we took the low here, I entered a long, both for a potential flat and a potential finished impulsive move to the downside. So there were two reasons for me to enter the long. I exited the long at the point of control. Reason being that the target mentioned this morning for a potential wave A, potential wave 1, and who knows, a flat, was the point of control. So to be more exact, my let's see, my entry average entry was 91,749.3, and my average exit was 94,857.3. Very nice. So yeah, I listened to John in Discord in the gold group. He said, you know, listened. I mean, it was my plan, but he actually sold as well. He's now in bed. He lives in Australia. So welcome everyone. Good to have you here. It's going to be a volatile afternoon that we're going to be spending with each other. Of course, we're going to focus on Elliott waves, right, as we always do, but we will have some other forms of technical analysis on the chart because I use multiple tools. No? But Elliott waves is, of course, the core, and I will explain what I have on my chart as well. So just so you know. And in this live stream, again, we'll mainly focus on Bitcoin, right? Now, today is news. As mentioned in the morning update, make sure you trade safe. Don't do any weird things with the volatility. And most especially, don't be too emotional. If you, of course, are having a little bit of a problem with this move to the downside, then hopefully you have a very clear plan. Always focus on how much you lose, not how much you win. Right? That's most important. Always calculate your position size based on your loss, not based on your win. Right? Have a exit plan, or of course also a take profit plan. My bottle of water is almost finished, so I probably during the live stream I probably need to get it. So welcome everyone. Let's look up Ali. Welcome Dan. Good to have you here. Right as the news drops, that's my specialty. I always go live at this time because it's usually the most volatile time, the time where most of the news kicks in as well. Mr. Sok Deon, what's up? Serega with his cap. Welcome, man. Serega, you still cycle often? Agent J, can a triangle lead a wave 4 of an impulse? Well, like a wave 4 can be a triangle, and then the impulse after is your wave 5. So the answer would, I guess, be yes. Wave A of the wave 4. No. Wave A is either a 5-wave impulse or wave A in a flat cannot be a triangle. Maybe a band-aid. Welcome. Dasek, Bogdan, Arbuzny Sok, unemployment rate is pretty important news. Yeah, so just for your information, I never really like to trade around news anyway, but Friday here, 2:30 p.m., 4 p.m. So this starts to look like a flat buy now. So impulse to the downside, potential for an ABC. I am also, of course, keeping an eye. If we do take out this low, we're not there yet, but if we do, I will at least keep an eye on a potential another flat. We still have not retraced, and this is the reason why we still have not retraced to the 382. It's just impressive. So we will of course cover the analysis in a second, but in all this time, we have not hit the 382 once with this move to the downside. No move to the upside at any moment in time touched the 382. Even the recent one. I mean, look at this. Even here, we did not touch. We didn't touch the 382. So, from a probability standpoint, it's incredibly rare to have a finished wave B or a finished X or 2 or whatever for like big continuation to the downside. It's very, very rare to not at least see the 382 touched. Like, holy moly, you can count the moment that happens on like a few fingers, you know, like on one hand. So that is why I'm still interested to of course wait and see what price does, first of all locally, but also with the 382 and higher prices. But at the moment, this move to the downside is either counted as an impulse or an ABC. And for an ABC, it's of course going to be 5 A, B, C, D, E. Could actually have a triangle in there, by the way. So 5 A, B, C, D, E, 5. Be mindful of that. That would be, of course, Very interesting. Now, in that case, we take a fib from the high to the low. We toggle on the 0.618. And the 0.618, I mean, we'll pull another one on the chart. So I'm already analyzing. I haven't even covered the higher time frames, but I guess for the ones that saw the morning update, most people that are here generally also watch the videos. So I can imagine that most of you know what we're looking for. So price now, high amount of volume, big move down. If price moves back up to the 0.618, it invalidates a wave 4 for a potential 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 impulse, increasing the probabilities that this move is a 3-wave structure, not a 5-wave structure, which increases probabilities to still take out the high at a later stage. Now, remember what we did at the very, very beginning of this live stream, comparing that wick in June 2023, right? The moment the live stream opened, if you came a little bit late, you probably missed it. I'll go back there in a second. But we keep an eye on the potential of that wick, and basically you want to touch the 618 to increase the probabilities of something like that to happen. Now let me quickly revisit what some people here may have missed. So we got to go to, wait, where are we? I got to go to the 1 hour time frame and then go back over here. I never forget this move. Because I traded it myself. There was a weekly naked point of control right here. But I'm talking about a wick like this. So this was even better. Look at the time. Look at the time. 4 p.m. candle this wick. So of course it's not 4 p.m. but it was a Friday afternoon. This candle. And then this was your weekend. Yeah, I'm not implying anything, but it's definitely something I keep an eye on, right? So, price action doesn't repeat, but it can rhyme, no? So that is why it is interesting to keep an eye on exactly that. Now, I'm not a big fan of trading myself and entering new positions when the volatility is this high. It would be a lot better for me as a trader, it fits more with my style, is if price actually creates a range here and then we go, basically. I don't really enjoy being part of such moves. But that's a personal choice. That's my way of doing, and of course not yours per se. Unemployment, a bounce of 76k. What was the numbers? Alexandra, what do you mean? What do you mean? Oh, the numbers. Wait, probably the news. Let me refresh here. What, do I have to click on something? How do we unemployment rate, right? Let me click here. So I don't understand this. Maybe you do. Probably some people. I'm purely technical, so I don't know, but you'll probably get an idea of what this means. So make sure to share it in chat, so I know. I know as well. I can learn something from all of you, as I'm just a technical guy. So yeah. So let me read it. The beginning here. The employment rate in the United States went down to 4.1% in December of 2024, from 4.2 in the previous month. Below market expectations of 4.2%. Where does it say anything about what happens now? Like, what are we even looking at? Previous 4.2, actual 4.1, consensus, forecast. Okay, someone explain me. So we put that back on the chart. Let's dump to 10k. What leverage did you use? I used, and I recommend to watch my short, I used 30x. And that was because of my management. So, of course, I know my liquidation. I know my stop loss, but I want to have the most. I trade isolated mostly. I just want to have the most amount of capital for potential compounding or other trades, and therefore I make sure that my liquidation is below my stop loss, if for a long, of course, and and there's still like a 1K, 2K difference between the two, of course, my risk in the trade is my 1%, right? So even though my leverage is on 30, my risk is still just 1%, but I keep most of the capital in my account as well. Depends, actually. This was a really big trade, but or it was, I mean, it was quite decent, I suppose. I just make sure that I also have capital left for compounding, maybe other setups, and you know, that sort of stuff. And in isolated, you then have to pick, or you manually pick your leverage there. Welcome, of course, everyone. Captain Swag, Alexandra, Knights of the Base. What's up, Blaster? No Choke. Said Rezea, Kurtish, what's good? The great neighbor of Ruud van Nistelrooy. You haven't forgot. Yeah, that was good. It was fun being involved, at least have the opportunity to speak to him multiple times back in the day. What's up, Perko? Lower than rate bearish, scared of. What's up, Zello, Alexandria? Lower than expected, unrated bearish since market is scared of reacceleration of inflation. I mean, how much is the drop? Like, this is also another thing. If news creates scandals like this, they do tend to be filled, no? I see it time and time again. That's 2%. How far are we away from the low? 3. 175. The 618 is about 3. I'm training for half marathon. Good luck, Seriga. It's in April. I don't ride a bike at all, only running. Yo, if you're in Discord, Seriga, make sure to post some stuff about your training plan. I'm a runner myself. Bring it to 89K. Good morning, watch and listen. Great educations. Thanks for your time and analysis. Always a pleasure. Always been. On the main page, it has the actual numbers. Oh, I need to go back then. You just look at the previous and the forecast. When it's red is worse green, then it's better. Okay, I see. I'm so clueless with news. Good morning, Jeffrey. Gap filler came out worse than expected. It can be a potential 3-wave, yes. We just observed the 618 here. Bad for the market. Okay, thanks, Mr. Sok. Jebal Malenesem. Yubinson has fallen and doing well. Not for the stock. No rate reduction. Okay, I get the idea. How far from the 886? Here is the 886, 91.6. What's up, Victor, Guile, BBL? Can this be a 1-2 setup? Potentially, but yeah, it's very volatile. Like, I do very well in calmer situations. Of course, I know what I look for and my probabilities, but it can be, of course, with your 1 here and then 2. So from a probability standpoint, it's still, and I think we should analyze for a second. So we've done some chatting. Let's start with the analysis here. Let me quickly remove this, put this in a folder. This will go very quick, by the way. This will go very quick. So, and then we go back to the lower time frame to observe the price action together. So, cool. On the daily, this remains your higher probability scenario, right? At the moment, we haven't yet lost this this whole range. We didn't go to 85. Moving below 85, that's going to be a problem. But preferably, I don't even want to lose 87 really. But 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right? Impulse is structured. This is your common target for your wave 4, and the invalidation is 77.7K. Target 96.7, 83.6. That's where we are at the moment. This polyline, by the way, for people that look at the line and be like, yo, the low is literally at the moment at this low. It's purely, I mean, by accident, of course, in a way, a little bit calculated. But when price was already here, we put this on the chart and it never changed. You just want to end wave 4 after this first vertical line, which is a fib time, to make wave 4 longer than 2. I just happened to put this polyline here. Doesn't mean this is your exact low or whatever. But the probabilities are higher. You're still looking for a 5. Bearish scenario, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. lower probabilities just because of your wave 4 being very short in time compared to your wave 2. It's not an invalidation, right? So therefore, your bearish scenario, just to make John happy in Discord as well, your bearish scenario is a wave 1, 2, create another 1, another 2, and then you go down. That means that this then has to be a 3-wave corrective structure, not an impulsive structure, okay? So we have to wait a little bit. Now, I'm not, I don't know, this is the zigzag, you know, probably in the past few weeks, you, your grandma, your dog, your sister, everyone heard about this scenario, which always makes me think twice, you know, about what's the probability. But this is your zigzag A, B, C, 5-3-5 structure, and after C, you look for price to continue. A scenario that I might actually like more is the potential of the WXY due to the very 3-wave end of this wave B, and due to the 3-waving end here on a high amount of volume, there's the potential for WXY, which works, and this can be labeled as a WXY in B and then a flat ABC, but it doesn't actually really matter because in the end the low is the same. So in both of these scenarios, the low is 91.1, but it's more about what's the right count. And of course, an ABC is very simple. There might not always be the highest probability, but the low is the same, so it doesn't really matter. And then on the 1 hour time frame, with regards to the impulse down, right? This here is how I count the impulse down to the low. So you can see it's a finished structure. From an Elliott wave probability standpoint, it just makes most sense to have a finished structure at the current low that we have here. I'll explain why in a short second. But you have in yellow 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and your wave 4 is then a flat in an ABC, meaning this is a B. That's important, which I'll explain in a second. So it's corrective, not impulsive. And then you have a wave C. And then we finish with a 5-wave structure, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, to finish yellow 5. Now that of course would mean that this move to the upside, right, would then be counted as preferably a wave 1 or a wave A, which is a starting structure, because you would look for continuation to the upside to take that high again. Now, this morning I put, where is it? I put it on the chart. Was it this one? No, this, there we go. So ABC or 1, 2, 3, doesn't matter. But the point of control was identified as important resistance on the chart. And it has proven to be. So that is of course very nice. Okay. So the bears, basically, let's go over the bearish scenario. Bearish scenario, basically one more low. Most bearish, of course, is your 1, 2, 1, 2, 3 down. I'm still wearing a little bit of my bullish cap because on the daily probabilities remain higher for a wave 5. So W, X, and then a 3-wave in a wave Y. But we'll see. In this case, you just take the low again. It's quite as simple as that. Invalidation is taking out 102K. On a 15-minute time frame, actually like 1 hour, for both the bulls and the bears, this is what you, I mean, preferably the bulls, first of all, bulls don't want to take this low. It wouldn't be great. In the bearish scenario that I just showed, right, so this is a WXY, so double zigzag, and then you have a 5, 3, and a 5. In this case, you want a 3-wave corrective structure to the upside. So you have a 5, you have a 5, you look for a 3, and then another 5, right? Now in that case, this move to the upside on a 5-minute time frame does count actually quite nice as a 5-wave impulsive structure. So that is why looking for an ABC for bears, for the bulls, it would be a 1, 2, and then you look for a 3, right? This would, from an Elliott wave point of view, have higher probabilities. Now, because price, of course, is moving to the downside, a little bit of volatility. Personally, I don't really like to be part yet of such moves, and I've already traded this heavily to the upside, and I exited at the point of control, which was my target. Why? Well, this it was in my video. I was looking for a rejection at my A. So I was thinking about holding and shorting the point of control and then holding the long from lower. But eventually I was like, well, if the point of control is resistance, if I'm willing to short a point of control, then I should just get out of my long and look for a new opportunity, because I know one of my strengths is finding a new entry and finding a new opportunity. So I was like, why, if price does reject at the point of control, why accept all of the profits going down, paper profits, and accept the rejection while you can just take profit? So I just took take profit, didn't enter a short. I had a lunch or a meeting together with my wife with someone here in Nice, and then I didn't have to think about anything trading related. So yeah, point of control, important resistance, and this remains a very interesting scenario with the daily naked point of control 98.1. We'll get to the probabilities at the end. If you do take the low, by the way, I'm still looking for a move up. Lower probability scenario, but it's on my chart just in case. The move to the upside, 5-minute time frame, counted. This is from this morning video as well. So this is how I counted the move to the upside to the point of control, right? So a couple of 1-2s, couple of 4-5s, ending an impulse. And then of course we need a 3-wave structure. And that is where this comes in. Because first of all, you want to retrace to at least the 0.382, which we did. So we can actually remove some of the, oh, did we actually touch the, yeah, we touched the 618, so we can remove that. Very nice. Now the probabilities for this being an A, B, C increase if you touch the 618s here, preferably the upper one at 94.2K. This here can be counted, by the way, as a triangle, which of course, if this is a triangle, this cannot appear in a wave 2. It has to be a wave B or a wave X. In this case, I choose a B. For a zigzag, A, B, C, which would be good, because that's corrective, increases the probabilities to take the high, but preferably a little bit of confirmation, hitting that 618 at 94.2 increases probabilities to still take that high. The retracement in price has been sufficient for, if you want to count this as an A, B, and then a wave C, or a 1, 2, 3. The move to the downside has been sufficient, hitting the golden pocket, perfectly fine. Now, from a time perspective, you preferably do like to see a bit of a longer corrective structure. So the vertical line is a fib time taken from the start to the end of the move. And yeah, it's just most common to finish a wave B or a wave 2 after the 382. But today with the news, you know, those are like your special outlier moments. You never know. So at least, of course, we are aware of, again, that wick candle, right? June 2023. We are at least aware of that. But the weekend is coming up, generally a ranging structure. If there's going to be any volatility, then let it be today. And so far, so good. But yeah, starting with a 3-wave structure, ABC can lead to other corrective structures like a double zigzag. Right? Like a triangle, only in a wave B. A flat. A WXY. So in other words, many scenarios. That's the bad thing about a zigzag, I suppose. So let's just observe what happens here, but continue with the analysis first, and then we just check this out. Let me put an alarm here at the 618, so at least we know if it gets hit. Okay, we zoom out again. Now, oh yeah, in the morning update, I explained why a flat, counting this as a wave C, has lower probabilities. So if you want to, you know, I've been analyzing the market yesterday till 1 a.m. because I wanted to know, like, what the hell is going on here, and that is when, of course, I got to my finished impulse because we actually had a nice 5-wave structure late in the evening here, Central European time zone. Now, you will have, of course, an ABC as a potential bearish option, but it has lower probabilities than counting an ABC or a 1, 2, 3. I'll explain why. If you want to count a flat here, ABC, to the upside, it means that this has to be your wave B. Because this is a 5-wave structure on the lower time frames, quite a nice one. And a 5-wave structure cannot be a B by itself. So you can't have A, B, C. It doesn't work. Wave B needs to be a 3-wave structure. So in that case, you need to include this move down. So this has to be your A, B, C. In a bigger A, B, C, right? Now your wave B is most commonly a zigzag family structure. So simple zigzag, double zigzag, triple zigzag, but triple zigzags are very rare. But that basically means that if this is a 5-waver, this needs to be a 5 to create a 5, 3, 5. So a simple zigzag. The issue is, though, that counting this as a 5 is a problem. So we can't yes, we can count 5 lows or 3 lows, right? So we can count 5 waves, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It makes sense. But this move down, right? This is a nice impulse, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. However, this structure, is it an impulse, multi 1, 2? Is it a diagonal? Well, it can't be an impulse because of the overlap, which is not allowed. It's not a multi 1, 2 because we didn't tank, which leaves us with a diagonal. Now, in a diagonal, you then have to think about a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. However, your wave 5 compared to 3 is longer. So that's something we have to at least keep in mind. Wait, let me actually... Ooh, I just thought about this. It's just... Okay, I think earlier I took it from here instead of this pivot. So, okay, on paper your wave 3 is actually longer than your wave 5. Let me quickly do a little bit of magic on the chart here. Okay, and we missed out on this. And then we missed A, B. Oh yeah. Take from the low to the high to the low. Wave 4 shorter than your wave 2. It's by a hair. Okay, so earlier, actually, I think last night when it was like midnight, I analyzed the chart and I probably put the length of 5 against this pivot, not this pivot. Now, officially in a diagonal, wave 2 and wave 4, they have to be zigzag family structures. They can't be anything else. So in other words, this has to be your 1 and 2. Can't be anything else. This then has to be your 3. And this then has to be your 5. Right, so this is your 2, this is your 4, 2 zigzag structure, 4 zigzag structure. Right? And in this case then you would count a diagonal here. It's not nice, but officially wave 4 shorter than 2, wave 5 by a hair, then shorter than your wave 3, which is this. I think earlier I used this pivot. So that would be your 535 for a flat structure. So that basically makes this whole section completely irrelevant because a flat now in theory would be possible. It's not nice, but it's possible. Let me click here. Oh yeah, and the 2 fib time, if you do want to count a flat like A, B, C, then this C is over twice the length of A plus B, which significantly reduces the probabilities of a flat structure. Okay, so at least we identified the awkward possibility. Still not really... I'm not sure what I missed last night compared to now, but it doesn't matter in the end. We just have to observe this structure here. Probabilities do not change, as the probabilities remain higher for a bounce. And the reason why is actually, like, we've done a lot of difficult stuff, but let's make it very simple. If you pull a 0.382 from the high, then at no moment in time did any retracement go to the 0.382. We have never touched, never touched the 382, right? So from an Elliott wave probability standpoint, even if you are looking for price to move down, it is incredibly rare to have a structure to the downside, right, counted as an impulse, then have a retracement and continue down in a wave B, X, wave 3, without touching at least the 0.382. Now, I don't care if that happens with a zigzag, which is personally the higher, or from an Elliott wave point of view, your higher probability scenario, or you create a flat like this and you take out the low, which is the alternative scenario here. Let's actually check if the pivots are still correct. A little bit higher now. So I don't care how we do it, but the probabilities from an Elliott wave point of view are higher for a bounce to the upside. Yeah, so that is basically, this is the probabilities from this morning. So basically what we are looking for is this. And it doesn't matter if you take the low, yes or no, but we're looking for a bounce to at least touch the 382. And then we'll take it from there. The bulls want to see continuation. You need to take 102.7K. In other words, the bulls want to see impulsive structures to the upside. The bears are looking for a three-wave structure and then rejection, and we go down. Now, resistance and support, and then we get to probabilities. So we have resistance where we are now, right? That's the point of control. I mentioned it this morning. Then we have the blue box here. 98 is an important level on the chart. To the downside, support 90K, 89K, and then below this we have 86, 87K. We have some support as well. And then we get to the probabilities of different scenarios. So a summary, basically. On the daily time frame, probabilities remain higher as long as price holds well, remain higher for another wave 5. One thing I do like you to know about is that a wave 4 of a higher degree generally retraces to the price action of a wave 4 of a lower degree, which is this range, the white wave 4. Moving below the low of the white wave 4 price action here, right, can happen, but it's not like a very common occurrence, right? If you lose this range, now that's a problem. I personally like wicking this low on a higher time frame, okay, you know, I can accept, but generally you don't really like to lose a wave 4 of a lower degree as a higher degree wave 4. Wicking, fine, but you know, you don't want to start closing candles, even though the target area for 4 is theoretically all the way to 83.6. If you use the other Elliott wave knowledge, like retracement to previous lower degrees wave 4s, you don't want to go all the way to a 0.5. You know, 382, fine, 0.5, not so good. So at the moment, still your higher probability scenario compared to your bearish scenario. And on the 4-hour time frame, very simply said, we are looking for a bounce to the upside still. You're at least looking to hit the 382. This move to the upside counts nicely as an impulse. You're looking for ABC 1, 2, 3 for the bulls. And if you want to be bearish, then you still look for this. So yeah, you're looking for a move up. And oh yeah, and then the 15-minute time frame, just for clarity. If price touches, we touched one of them. Preferably, we also actually touch the higher one. So if you touch the higher one, I took that from here to here. It invalidates an impulse 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, which in other words is bullish. Yeah? So if you touch 94.2, the probabilities are higher to take out this high. Now we already touched the first 0.6 one. Maybe missed out by a few dollars. tell me. Yeah. So, okay, we're almost there. We didn't touch it yet. So basically patience. We'll see. So hit 94.2 to 1869. Probabilities are higher to take out this high. Right? So very nice. And that is basically the analysis on Bitcoin. So yeah. And on the 50-minute, of course, on a daily time frame, bullish. On the 4-hour time frame, looking for a bigger bounce still. On the 50-minute, waiting for 94.2. And as mentioned, the probabilities are then higher. This is a three-wave structure. It does not invalidate a bearish multi-1-2 or the potential of a diagonal. Sorry for the lag. I have my trading window open. Right? But probabilities are higher to take out the high. Right? That's going to be... You can still have a bigger corrective structure, no problem. But the probabilities, quite frankly, are higher to take out the high. So just a FYI, I suppose. Now, even though, of course, I am live, I do have to manage my stuff. Trader life. So I think we now hit the 0.618. So that now means that from a probability standpoint, right, the probabilities are higher to still take out the high at some stage, right? So where's my chat? There we go. So from a probability standpoint, your probability is now increased to still take out this high at a later stage. As a wave 4 is now invalidated, increasing the probabilities for a three-wave structure to the downside doesn't mean you can't continue ranging for a longer period of time or even during the weekend, right? It doesn't mean you can't go down anymore because you always have a bearish scenario, which is either a diagonal or a multi-1-2, right? But theoretically speaking, from an Elliott wave point of view, the probability is increased for a three-wave structure down. Imagine we started the stream. Imagine we started the stream with the wick candle in June 2023. You know, memory. Imagine that happens again. You know, it would be hilarious. You know, it would be really good. Nope. Yeah, that would be quite funny. What a day. What a day. Where's the entry? The entry is where you want. Depends on your risk, depends on your plan, depends on your strategy. That is what you have to figure out as a trader. Now, I do recommend, by the way, because I'm doing stuff in my browser here, let me open something for you that will help you out. Because of course I regularly get a question. Oops. So you go to the description, there's a link tree. And that brings you here. And you can see my chart, right? My chart is, most of the time my chart is live. So you can always see what I do. Like always, when I'm doing analysis, you will live see the analysis on the chart and you see me puzzling without commentary or webcam, but you can see what I do. You know, whenever I change something, you'll see it. And of course, there's other stuff. Now, with regards to your question, if you go to the educational content section, and then you see this video here, that's the video for you. And this was published 2 weeks ago. and it's about making a plan. 6 steps to build your trading plan. And if you keep it simple, you can do it even, like, of course I say less than 90 days, obviously, but that's because it's possible. If you have a simple plan, you can probably do it in 30, 45 days, not even 90, but we have a little bit of leeway. If you have a more complex plan, or, you know, you need to collect a lot of data, and it's, yeah, then it can take 6 months, it can take a year, it can take 2 years, doesn't matter. Elliott waves for me took a long time. But if you have a simple strategy, it can be very short, but you need to develop a plan, and that's what you do here, right? Need to develop a trading plan. So, and that takes time, but yeah, that's the best thing you can do is develop your own trading plan. My 618 is touched. Yeah. Oh, overset Tim. Yeah. Guys, I'm not sure when I started my analysis. When did I start my Bitcoin analysis? I only focus on Bitcoin at the moment because of the volatility. So, of course, generally we have a look at alts or even stocks or commodities. But today we'll be focused on Bitcoin because of the action. I wasn't live. I was 5 minutes behind. Okay, got you, Tim. Welcome, man. Welcome. Elliott wave analysis. When did we start with this? I mean, we pretty much from the get-go when we started to stream, we were analyzing, but I guess the Elliott wave analysis itself must have started I don't know, 25 minutes in. It's currently 52 minutes live. Let's say we analyze for 30, 22, 25. I guess around 25. I don't know. Now chatting a Q&A and observing price action. Yep. I will put the timestamps in after the live stream. So let me see what you guys have been up to while I was focused on the chart. We've already had this. Where were we? Victor, welcome. In which area you predict Bitcoin will up? I'm not sure if you mean like time-wise, which area. The probabilities, of course, this was mentioned, like the question was during the analysis, so probably your question is answered. 1 second. A little bit of background light. What's up, Mihamia? Maria Helena. After starting to accompany you, the trades were much more certain, keeping calm and following the plan. I love to hear it. Thanks, Maria. And I'm happy I can help, especially on the psychology front. I guess it's a bit of personality. I'm generally, I'm a very active guy, but I'm generally very patient, and hopefully in a way I can communicate this during streams and whatnot. But psychology is a big portion of trading, right? It's a lot about psychology. I once read a quote as well, which I think is also good. Not necessarily psychology, but I guess in a way it has to do with psychology. Is exits are more important than entries, and I never forgot it, right? So if you know where you're wrong, right, you just calculate your position size, have a 1% risk or whatever, and know when to get out. You know, that's important. It doesn't matter if you, of course, if you only take trades that are 0.5 to 1R, I mean, you better have a very, very good win rate, no? So of course it matters that you have at least a decent RR. But even if you have a 1-to-1 risk to reward ratio, right? If you win 55% of your trades, you're good. So yeah, if you have you win 55, you lose 50, but you're still winning. It's not by much, but you're still winning. So theoretically, of course, you just need to know your win rate and your RR. And many people fuck up based on their psychology, not their plan, not their theoretical knowledge. It's the psychology that kills them. It's the greed, it's the fear, it's the not having a plan, it's the exiting before your invalidation is hit. You know, just let me save a little bit of money by just closing the trade before it hits my stop loss, and then it reverses and moves to TP, and then you have to enter later, and that sort of stuff, right? So yeah, hopefully by talking about it, covering it in live streams, and being in the Discord, people improve in different areas. But I like to hear this, Maria. Thanks. And thanks for being a member as well. Silver and gold and the green against USD. Remarkable. What a day. Stagflation. I do have a question. What if Bitcoin goes to 73, 77K considering head and shoulders? If it does, then the bullish count will be a multi 1-2. So then from 49 basically to current all-time high will be counted as another one, and you look for another 2. Now that would be extremely bullish. And then your bearish scenario is cycle top, or cycle top, at least a significant top has been made. So Reza, as a beginner, what's your recommendation for starting to understand and learn Elliott? I got a good one. Right, I got good stuff. And not because it's actually all free. It's not even mine, but I recommend it because I used it myself. Go to the description, open description, click on the Linktree link, right? And go down to Elliott Wave Education. First of all, start with a pen and a notebook. I recommend drawing things and writing things down. Start with the Elliott Wave website, right? That's probably going to be your most important source. Now, it's not my website. I'm not affiliated to the website, but this website, let me open it for you guys so you know what I'm talking about. This is a really good website. There's a lot of information. It's not as complete as my knowledge on Elliott Waves is, but 90% is pretty much here. They don't really talk too much about time and some elements that we pay attention to, but you have the graphs, you have targets, they're colored as well. A lot of theory information. Start here, and you will probably, you can see how long it is. You'll probably be good for at least a couple of days, if not more. And then, of course, you can always buy the Elliott Wave Principle, which is the book from Robert Prechter. And very soon, in the first 6 months of this year, we will publish a Elliott Wave Compendium, which is going to be incredibly complete. What's happening here? So an Elliott Wave Compendium is basically a very concise, to-the-point type of book. Not too much chit-chatting, a lot of information, compact in 56 pages at the moment it is. You'll not find anything else that has more information on the page than what we're making. So it's going to be great. But yeah, make sure to check out that website, check out the book, check out the playlist. This is my public playlist on YouTube. So this is free, of course. It's all there, which literally, everything you need to know about Elliott Waves is in this playlist. Wow, almost 33,000 people enjoyed the playlist. So that's pretty cool. Of course, divided over the videos. So, but that's pretty awesome. And then there is the gold membership. The memberships will change in Q1 2025. I'm thinking about things. But if you want to shorten the learning curve, you're always welcome. So that's what I would do. And also from the get-go, if you want to learn Elliott Waves, I really recommend to put from the website. You can just start with the templates from the website and what you read there, and then customize based on more knowledge, because some of these are a little different. But put all of your retracement levels and put all of your extension levels in your templates in Tradingview. That will really help you with counting, because now you don't have to think every time about what's the target and then go back to your notes and stuff. You just literally be like, I need a retracement target for a wave 2. Click on wave 2. Okay, well, boom, there we go. Color code them between common and less common or rare, and then you don't even have to think about it. You can literally focus just on the structures, not the targets. If there's one thing that I would change, it would be this, because I put my templates in the fibs and the trend-based fib extension. I did that last. Oh boy, I think that was a mistake. I should have done that first. Just get the website, put all the fibs in, and then it would have been a lot easier. So yeah. Cheers, Ed. Can you? Yeah. So I answered this. My question is, Chill Pixels. You say the probabilities from Elliott, are those probabilities still from 1990 or up to date? Probabilities always change, but the probabilities are from the 10th of January, 3 p.m. Central European time, which is right now. Because, of course, Elliott waves was a little bit of a joke, but Elliott waves is indeed, the chart is always changing, so the probabilities always change. The knowledge, because I think this is a question that's more about, is Elliott wave still relevant? That answer is absolutely yes, 100%. You can, of course, also go through all of the videos on my channel and just see how price developed based on the content that I made and the probabilities I share at the end of my videos. And you can ask other people that are watching as well on, hey, you know, Koen is using Elliott waves, and does he do a good job? Is Elliott waves working? Not necessarily is what I do good, but probably by watching the videos, you'll get a good idea of, is Elliott waves working or is it not working? Yeah. So, but it's if you ask me, it definitely is 100%. Yeah, I love Elliott waves. It's amazing. It gives me a way to read the market like a book. Basically, that's how I always like to compare it. Instead of price action feeling somewhat random in a way, I can read it. I can read it like a book. I can mark certain ways. I know probabilities, directional probabilities for up or down based on Elliott waves, and it gives me an opportunity to trade in that direction and then look for opportunities in that direction. Right? So no, Elliott waves is incredible. I recommend it to everyone. It's very difficult, so I guess that's the reason why it's very niche. It's not like the most popular way of analyzing a chart. That must be the patterns or ICT or something like that. Candlestick patterns, head and shoulders, W's, I don't know. Elliott waves is very niche. It's very tricky, very difficult. In my videos, try to explain it as simple as I can. But of course, I still need to use some terminology because it's just the way it is. But if people don't want to, in my videos, for example, if they don't really want the explanation of the scenarios, they basically only want to know probabilities higher, up or down, you can always just skip to the last timestamp in my video, which is the probabilities and polylines timestamp. And you just watch that couple of minutes or maybe 1 minute, or depending on how long it is. And then you know. And then you don't, but the people that are interested in education and why are the probabilities the way they are, that's what the rest of the video is for, basically. Yo, Jedi, what's up, man? Good to have you here. Thanks for the comment as well. What's up, man? Can wave 2 be impulsive? No, wave 2 always has to be corrective. It always needs to be a 3-wave structure. And it doesn't matter if, so I guess I know what you mean. Can a wave 2 be like this? Yes. It's more about structure. It's not about how big is the candle or how aggressive is it. It's about structure. So is it a 3 or a 5 wave? That's more important. So it looks impulsive because of the size of the candle and the volume. But of course, in an impulse, there's 3 impulsive structures, right? You have an impulse, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Actually, I should say this differently. There are 3 motive structures if we follow the exact terminology, right? So there's 3 motive structures. In the book, they only explain 2, which is a diagonal and an impulse. But I also like to identify the multi 1, 2. But it has to do with Elliott wave degrees. It's too much for the stream. But basically, an impulse is a 5-wave structure. No overlap allowed between your wave 1 and your wave 4. Right? Now, if we look here, we got a problem. First of all, we have overlap here. Second, the 0.618 works as an invalidation for a wave 4. It's incredibly rare for wave 4s to move to a 618. So it doesn't really make sense to think about wave 4s when a 618 is touched. So that now means there's 2 things, two bearish scenarios left, right? Impulsive. either a 1, 2, 1, 2, and then 3 down, or a diagonal 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This is then labeled your wave A or 1, depending on what you're looking for. 3, continuation, right? Because then you correct the diagonal and then you go back down. Now, of course, that doesn't mean that taking this low equals bearish impulsivity, but that's your impulsive structure. So at the moment, the only bearish scenario is multi 1, 2, because for a diagonal, it's way too early, right? For a diagonal to get the highest probability, you just need to wait a lot longer. You need to wait for your 5, right? Usually, I only start to look at diagonals when wave 4 is finished. That's when I put it on the chart. Till that moment, it's not really relevant to look at diagonals. Right. Now let's actually see what CVD is doing. This is absorption. We don't have bearish CVD on the 15. This bullish CVD already played out. Now, with regards to time, I wouldn't mind. The weekend is coming up, generally a ranging structure. Wave 2 or B is commonly ending after the 382 fib time, which is the reason this vertical thing is on my chart. So if price does want to move up, I mean, of course, it can do that immediately, but actually, preferably, you would finish after the vertical line. So, yeah, anyway, your bearish scenario is a double 1, 2 at the moment. Your bullish scenario is this is an ABC, and which is a corrective structure. But then again, it is a volatile chart at the moment, right? Now we also hit the 0.7, and the 0.7 lowers the probabilities for a double zigzag. Double zigzag would be a WXY 3-wave. So basically ABC, correction, ABC. It's not an invalidation, just lowers the probabilities. So that's interesting on the chart as well. Okay, so yeah, it's about structure, and a zigzag can look impulsive, but it doesn't necessarily mean it's an impulsive structure. I have a great example for you. I probably need to go, maybe the 1 hour chart can work. Let's see if I can find it. I mean, this is this is a wave C. Look how impulsive it is. Look at the volume. A, B, C. High amount of volume. As impulsive as it is, because a wave C is an impulse, it's a 5-wave structure, it's corrective. You then move back up, touch the 618, right? That's what we did just now, because it's a probabilities thing. So 618 is touched. Okay, cool. Probabilities are higher to take out the high. And yeah, it takes time, but you just wait, and opportunities will come. And then eventually we move up and we take out the high. It's a little bit of a matter of time. It's just probabilities. It can still be a zigzag multi 1, 2, but another example was a while ago. Let me find it. Oh, there we go. I'll never forget this because I was live during this moment with 500 people watching, which was ridiculous. Stupid numbers. So here, diagonal in 1, corrective structure in 2, wave C. We were live here. So as we were live, I basically did the same. I said, okay, we put the 618 on the chart. We just wait for it to be hit. If it gets hit, we think about ABC. If we do this, then we think about an impulse. Price took a while, and eventually touched the 618. Okay, probabilities are higher to take out the high, unless 1, 2, 1, 2 down, or of course a diagonal. But initially, your probabilities are always going to be ABC, with your alternative, multi-1-2, your last option, diagonal. It's just probabilities. So nothing works 100%, but it's important to know how probabilities switch based on new information. So, takes time. Oh, let me actually, my chart is very empty. Let me put this, let me put that on. We also, I think we have probably tested the value area low. Yeah, value area low, so we're in this range. So, yeah, very nice point of control rejection. Beautiful. Mr. Brownbug, sent you something in Discord. Hope it's helpful. Yo, thanks, man. I'll make sure to check it out after the live stream. Today's a bit more of a flexible day, I suppose. But yeah, thanks, Mr. Brownbug. Hi and like. I'll make sure to message you man, my Discord messages are piling up. Not gonna lie. I need to just get through them later today and this weekend. What about alts going 50% more down? Possible? I've of course, yesterday I've done some alts because I generally do alts as well during live streams if Bitcoin is not moving much. But today, of course, Bitcoin is moving. I don't know all the alts out of my head, but most of the alts are in wave 4s, or at least the ones that had a big push. You're looking for 4 and 5, right? So you can just pull a fib from the low before the sharp push, right? Pull a fib from that low to the high. Toggle on the 236, 382, 05, 618. 618 is invalidation for 4. The other 3 are targets. That's your target area. Most of the alts are in that position. Some alts have a lot of overlap. They didn't really have a great impulsive structure like an XRP or an SUI, I believe it was. So yeah, gotta be mindful. Wait, I have. Ooh, someone is actually calling me. 1 second. 1 second. Probably important. Okay, yeah, that was one that I had to pick up. Yeah, I have to also call it a day because I actually have a call with my lawyer because we are setting up like for the book and the products and stuff, terms and conditions and all that stuff has to be developed. So yeah, so let me quickly scan some of the questions here. Would that be relevant CVD after such a high volume candle? Nah, that's why I don't really focus on it. Structure is more important. So cheers, Alpha Vision. There's no better way than Elliott. Can only agree. The less accessible, yeah, it's Elliott Waves has a very, very high entry barrier. Yeah, I sometimes explain these in live streams and didn't really make a separate video of it. But yeah, basically a head and shoulder can be a 4-5-1-2, can be a 4-5-AB. So yeah, it's generally during tops and bottoms. Zigzag high probability. Yeah, that's all of course also based on data from Rich Swannell, for example. But yeah, these haven't changed, these probabilities. Yeah. If we did get a 1-2-1-2 into 73, what would be the wave 3 possible targets? Wave 3s can be very, very extended. So you can go even way below 73 in that case. So yeah, it's also chill pixels. It's of course once you start building experience, you'll probably be able to see it for yourself as well, that zigzags are a lot more common than running flats, right? And expanding flats are more common than running flats, and expanding triangles are almost like non-existent. So it's yeah, the probabilities are still there. Yeah, BTC Bulls, what's up? Cheers, Chill Pixels. I think Chill Pixels, what would be interesting for you is to go to Discord and check out the educational content section. 1 second here. And then download these files. So you have some data as well, some statistics. And thanks for watching all the videos. Indicator used to Atas. I use this was the volume profile, sorry. So that is this tool here, fixed range volume profile, and I pulled it from this section on the chart here. What's up, Boris? Velo probabilities, couple of days. I mean, on the daily time frame, the probabilities would remain higher still for seeing a wave 5 at some point. Also here, the issue with the move down is that you never retrace to the 382, which is very rare. If you do continue down in a wave 3 or a wave C, probabilities would be higher to look for a bounce. And I don't care if it takes the low or not. Probabilities at the moment would be higher to look for an A, B, C, or a 1, 2, 3. Also because this move down now has a higher probability of being a 3-wave structure. You can still get a multi 1, 2. It's just probabilities. So your probabilities actually would be higher to look for a bounce at some point and move at least to the 382, which is like 95.8 or something minimum. So also hopefully work is going well. Yeah, exactly, Arbuzni Sok. I'm doing good, Boris. Thanks. Appreciate it, man. Can we enter into your Discord? Yeah, link is in the description, or just click on the Linktree link and then click on Discord. So it's all about volume. Volume is part of Elliott waves. It's not just volume, but it's an element of, yes. Did you set up the CVD indicator on your phone? Yes, in my browser, Google. Just download the template, put it on your phone, and just open Google and just upload it. Okay, guys, I do have to go because I have a call with my lawyer, because for the bookie stuff, we need terms and conditions, and I like all that sort of stuff. It's not really my cup of tea, but, you know, has to happen, has to happen. So we've been online for a nice 1 hour, 20 minutes. Short summary of the probabilities, right? Daily time frame remains bullish, looking for a wave 5 at some point. 4 hour time frame, we are looking for a bounce to the upside. What do I mean by that? Well, if we look at the 0.382 taken from the high to the low, then at no moment in time did we touch this orange line here, the 382, right? All these moves up did not hit the 382. If you would look, even for bearish scenarios, if you do look for moves that go way deeper, so way beyond your 89K area, it is incredibly rare to not at least hit the 382. If you would look for bearish 1, 2, A, B, and of course the bulls, you look for continuation. Probabilities on the 4 hour are higher to still look for at least a 382, but of course golden pocket with the daily naked point of control is interesting. 786 with an order block here, interesting. And on the 15-minute time frame, so in other words, probability is higher for a bounce, right? Unrelated to taking out the low, the yes or the no, but you're looking for a bounce. We have some support here still. And locally on the 15 minutes, probabilities are higher. This is a 3-wave structure because we touched the 618. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 is invalidated. Wave 4, meaning bearish scenario is either a multi 1, 2, or you need to develop a bigger diagonal. Diagonal is too early. Multi 1, 2 only gets higher probabilities, of course, if you really get a wave 3 to the downside. At the moment, probabilities are higher. This is an ABC till proven otherwise. It's all probabilities. Your bearish scenario is a multi 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3 down. Bullish scenario ABC. ABC, higher probabilities than a multi 1, 2. that's Elliott waves. So it's just Elliott waves. Multi 1-2, you need a 3 to the downside. Now, mind you that a 3-wave zigzag can lead to a bigger corrective structure. It doesn't have to finish at the low. It can lead to triangle structures. It can lead to flat structures, double zigzag, well, lower probabilities for a double zigzag because of the 0.7 being touched. But of course, still a scenario. As well as WXYs. Weekend is coming up, common for a range. So that's that. Generally during the weekend, you go sideways, Ed. So thanks everyone for being here. Hopefully you enjoyed. Right? It's generally I live stream 1 hour, so it's a little bit longer, but I gotta go because I gotta call my my person, or she calls me, either or. You know how it works. Make sure you trade safe. Weekend is coming up. Generally during the weekend, of course, there's no content, but if we have some crazy price action, then I'll make sure to jump on a YouTube. If you're in silver, of course, I do continue writing and putting stuff in silver, but generally I take it easy with the content as it takes a lot more time to make the content. So, Discord says you don't have access to any text. Maybe we have to give you the trader's role. Usually it's automatic. Interesting. Mohammed, if you can write me anywhere, Telegram, Discord, we'll be able to sort you out though. But gotta go. So thanks for being here. Thanks for watching. And I will catch you again at a later stage. Trade safe.